Hey everyone, it's Liz Charlene Tate, the lead coach from the Western PDC Professional Development Center, and welcome to episode 4 of the Itsy Bitsy podcast. Today we're doing something a little different. We've been experimenting with what it's like to have a podcast instead of a Zoomcast. So welcome to our first podcast of the season. We are focusing on celebrating early childhood moments from an unexpected place, which is TikTok. And tonight's episode is called Elevating Empathy. Hey Sheila, how you doing?
I'm good, Liz. I'm excited that we're trying out more podcast style recordings. So thank you to all our listeners and viewers for bearing with us while we try out new things so that you can interact with us and hear our content a little more. So I'm Sheila Gould. I'm the chair of the education department at Holyoke Community College, and I supervise our practicum students in the early childhood programs. So I have two students who are guests tonight that helped create the content that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves and share a little bit about what they do. Drea, can you introduce yourself and let everybody know what you're up to?
Yes, I can. My name is Andrea. I have been working in this field for 7 months now, and I absolutely love it. I love the interaction I get with the kids. I love hearing their stories. I love seeing them making connections. It's just amazing to me. So yeah.
That's so great. And the student that is with you tonight is also your colleague. Olga, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Olga. I am a preschool teacher for 2.9 and 3-year-olds. I've been working in the field for 4 years at VOC Montgomery. I enjoy just working with kids and interacting with them. It's just fun, and I love to see them get dirty when it comes to art.
Yay! Love messes, they're good things.
So just last week, I was observing Olga and Drea at their programs, and in both classrooms, I noticed that they work really hard for the children to build relationships with each other. And in particular, not just regular, you're my classmate relationships, but very deep, caring relationships. And the teachers did a great job of modeling caring, and you could see the children really living that value that Andrea and Olga and their colleagues are instilling within the children and families in their programs. So tonight we are going to explore the concept of empathy in the early years. So we have two videos that we're going to watch together and talk to you about. If you'd like to watch the videos, there will be links below this recording, so you can go ahead and watch the videos. But when I think about these videos that we're going to watch that are all about empathy, I want to ask you both, how do you create moments in the classroom where children get the opportunity to act out caring for others? And how do you create moments in the classrooms where you model the act of caring? What do you do at work to make this happen?
Oh, well, I try to validate their feelings, especially when they come in and they're having a rough day. I mean, drop off in the morning because normally it's the drop off. It's after that they're fine, but I know that they miss being with their parents, or sometimes there's new kids that come in and they were with Nana and Pepe, and those were the people that were taking care of them. So I take my time with them. I sit with them for a little. I give them their hugs and I tell them that everything's gonna be okay. Then mom's not gonna leave them here forever. They're just gonna be here for a little while.
Mhm.
um and I kind of distract them with other things. Let's get ready for breakfast, or we do a movement song or something, so they get distracted of that. And a lot of the kids, they start hugging each other too. Most of them just say, "Oh, hi, you," or they'll say their names. "Oh, Nathaniel's here, Miss Olga," and they're waiting for him at the door too,
Mhm.
like giving him a hug and showing that love and that caring for them.
Yeah, so
That's beautiful.
going off what Olga said, I did have a one child who was out of the program for a little bit and just started um returning, like she returned back and she just started. So she's like trying to get back into the routine, and like some mornings she will come and cry, and then we'll try to tell her, okay, like go to quiet cube. And I would see a lot of my kids like go over to her and rub her back and tell her it's okay. And she usually, like after a couple of minutes, she'll start playing with them. So we also like show our kids empathy too. Like I believe that we lead by example. Like so if they see us doing it, they do it.
They model it.
So yeah. So we try to acknowledge their emotions, what they're feeling at that time. And then from there we try to find a solution.
I know. I feel that not only validating their feelings, but there's times where you just got to give them that space also and let them cope with it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they just want to be alone for a moment.
That's why we
I
have
always tell them
the
grab a
quiet
book,
cube.
go to the
Yep.
quiet area, calm. When I feel that I have to go, that I see that they keep crying,
Mhm.
I'll sit with them for a little while and I'll tell them. I'll just keep comforting them until they feel comfortable.
Mhm.
You know,
But
you just said is fantastic, Olga, because you're talking about normalizing all feelings, right?
Mhm.
That kids don't have to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
We're not.
Right.
So why should kids have to
Mhm.
be
Yes.
one feeling? They are complex beings just like us. And one thing I find so powerful about what the two of you are talking about is that you're giving them more of an expansive vocabulary, that feelings go so far beyond happy, sad, mad, glad.
Mhm.
They're complex, and we can't just tell somebody to snap out of it and cheer up.
Right.
So that you have a place like your comfort quiet cube where a
Mhm.
kiddo can go and just be by themselves is fantastic. I think that's the way to go, to help children learn that it's also okay to not feel so great about being where you're at, but that you're there for them no matter what.
Which is a beautiful book about the bond between children and people
Right.
who are either no longer in their life because of loss, but it doesn't specifically discuss grief or death. It talks about when you love someone who you can't see. And it's a really beautiful story. So I'd love to try to find that and get that over to your program. So with Olga Andrea picked some great videos about empathy. So we're going to watch them.
Fantastic.
The first one is we're calling the video "It's Okay, Fish." So we're gonna watch a little girl and her grown-up who's with her. I don't know what that person's role in her life is, but they have gone fishing and they're standing with a fish they've caught, and this fish is out of water, right? So this fish is struggling, and the little girl hugs the fish, hugs it. I mean, hugs it to her body and leans in and comforts it with words and with gestures. And you'll hear her comforting the fish. So we're going to watch that video really quickly. Here she comes.
It's okay, fish. It's okay. I love you. It's okay. It's okay, fish. It's okay, fish. It's okay.
Now we're gonna turn him back, okay?
It's okay.
She
So
don't want
there's
to let
some-
go.
I know.
There's so many things that I love about this video. One is that the person that's with her is not telling her that it's not okay to hold a fish close to you like it's a baby doll, or a loving family member. And she's genuinely wanting to comfort this fish that's out of water. They're about to release it back, and that's what you hear at the end is the adult saying, "Okay, we need to put the fish back." I love that the adult gave her room to do that caretaking with a fish. I think it's a tiny moment, but it's really powerful.
I
The
loved it.
opportunity he gave him. I loved it.
Yep, leave that space. So let's go to another quick video. This toddler, very young, probably very pre-verbal in age, her baby doll makes a crying sound and she responds to it, which is really neat to see her acting out caregiving at a pre-verbal stage. So I am going to share that one next.
Oh, I love that she kissed it
Oh,
and
I
like
know.
hugged it and like trying to make it feel better.
You know what I noticed was that when the baby's crying, you could see there was like a distressed look on this little toddler's face. And this child's what, maybe 13 months, baby
Maybe.
toddler. But she had that look of concern that anybody would have when trying to comfort their crying baby or a crying baby.
Oh my goodness. Do you see students doing this caretaking with toys in the program? Do you see them acting out care tasks?
Definitely.
I will see in dramatic, and when they're in dramatic play where they're playing with the dolls, they usually grab them and they're dressing them up, they're undressing them. I see them take them to the cube and kind of coddle with them.
Yeah, I also see like outside when they're playing, if a child falls off a scooter or a bike or something, they'd be like, "Oh, are you okay? Oh, you okay?" Or if the teacher didn't see it, like they'll run and tell the teacher, "So and so fell off the bike, she hurt," or something like that.
Oh, go help her.
Yeah,
Go help her.
yeah. We actually see it a lot.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, last night I was tagged in a community forum post because someone was looking for a play group for their 1-year-old. And someone in the community knew that I might have a resource. So I was tagged and I went to it and I provided some resources. And then someone commented very innocently and politely, "How does a 1-year-old know it needs to socialize?" And it was so interesting to me that to the general public, someone who is 1-year-old, like the child we just saw in this video, we don't see them as someone capable of understanding social needs or emotional needs or physical needs. We see them as someone who is the receiver of caregiving, and not someone who is developing their own social skills. So I, shared very nicely some quick fun facts, and that was the end of it. But it was very interesting to me that in this space where a parent was seeking resources because they could tell their 1-year-old could use some socialization, that there was a genuine curiosity around why would you consider that for your 1-year-old? And I think a big reason why we're doing this series is to share and grow knowledge about the beauty of the early years and the magic of the early years and the validity and the on and on and on, because the expression on the child's face in this video, the actions that she takes are things that, the four of us see as, of course, that's what this child is doing. But in our society, we overlook those early years as just something to get them ready for what's next and not something that's valid and beautiful now. I don't know. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts?
And so I feel sometimes the 1-year-olds get bored with the same thing. That we got to show them new things so they can learn and develop, like art. Even if they go outside, play with dirt, or even the grab leaves and throw themselves in it. I feel those are things that they're learning. Like they're learning nature. They're learning how to play with water and stuff like that. I don't know. I let them explore anything. If there are 1, 2, 3, 4. To me,
Olga, you're the
exploring is
queen of
showing
saying
them.
yes to a mess. You
Oh,
have
I
always-
love it.
I think
They're
when
totally
you both-
capable, right? The thing that the children are born scientists, it's the adults that might remove the natural born scientist from a curious new human to the planet. And we say this a lot in our episodes, that this isn't children, it's not a practice run. This is their lives. They are complex human beings just like us. And whatever they're exploring at 1 or 2 or 3 is just as important as what we're exploring at 32 or 56. It's equal to, it's not lesser than. And I love the stories that you're sharing, because you're showing it's the enthusiasm you have for the children that are in your classrooms. They're so lucky to have you because you're so incredibly excited about everything. And that's what children need, are people that want to sort of partner together to discover the world. For us, it's old hat. We've been seeing it for a long time, but for them, we have to remember it's the first time maybe they've ever stepped in snow. It's the first time they've heard the crunching of the leaves, and you get to be there to experience all those firsts with them when they come to preschool, which is pretty amazing.
Before we wrap up our episode, one thing I want to mention is, as Olga, Andrea, and Liz and I speak quickly and enthusiastically about all the great things that happen in our spaces that we observe, one thing that's very unique that I've observed with Drea and Olga is that when I do come and observe and they are implementing activities with children, they both just create this sense of pause when the children are presented the materials that allows for children to have feelings, to process feelings, and to notice each other's experiences. I know Olga mentioned the nature collage the children were doing, and that collage experience went on for a long time because the children were just calm. They were touching, they were sharing, they were experiencing, and never once did Olga rush their conversation or interject their conversation or tell them what to do next, or even tell them to use the glue. Many of them were not even using the glue. They
No.
were talking to each other about what they saw in the images and creating those moments of pause without force or expectation or rush is what creates moments where empathy can live, and where relationships can grow. So I'm really proud of you both for what you do in your programs and for what you're willing to share tonight. And I know our episodes are itsy bitsy, but you did a great job packing it
Yeah,
full of
you sure did.
love and just passion and meat.
Well, thank you both for bringing your joy and your energy to this episode, but also to the assignment. You did a fantastic job. A plus, A plus.
You hear that, Sheila?
You hear that, Sheila?
I heard it.
Yeah, we didn't this has been such a great conversation. We didn't mention that the article that they cited when they were to find TikTok videos, but then find articles to cite. I don't know if you mentioned this about the one, right? So one of the articles that they cited was from the New York Times. And Sheila and I actually were looking it over and reading it as we were preparing for this episode. And it's making me realize that we could talk about this for hours.
For
Yes.
hours.
Hours.
Yes,
So-
definitely.
We'll link the article to this episode. It's by Jessica Leahy. It's from 2014, but it still really rings true. It's called Teaching Children Empathy. If you're a teacher or you're a parent, this is a great one to share with the folks in your community that love and care for children. So we always end with a quote, and this one is from Barack Obama. Empathy is a quality of character that can change the world. And that was definitely something that we saw here tonight. So thank you, Olga and Drea, for being on our
Oh, thank
episode.
you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having
Thank you so much.
And it was nice
All
seeing
right.
you, Liz, again.
me.
Nice to
Yeah.
see you.